Welcome in everybody to episode 4 of Guildcraft. Today we're getting a lot more done on the industrial side than we have at all this entire season. So we're going to set up a couple very useful farms, and as you can see here I have a little bit of a pen area marked out, and I just got some leads, and if you've ever built the farm before, you may very quickly realize what I'm doing here in the savanna biome, other than the fact that I do just live in the savanna biome. But I am, of course, going to be making, for once and for all, an armadillo farm. I need this for a decent source of XP because that's really our next step up here. We are running a little low on the bit we have, so of course we have to go ahead, get our zombie, and we will soon enough get as much XP as we want. But before we do that, of course, as we already have, luckily, we need to catch a zombie, an armadillo, and we have to gather the resources for this farm. Most importantly, brewing. Because while we do have a bit of a brewing setup, it would be nice to maybe get a little bit more fuel and maybe increase the size of our netherwort farm just to make it a little bit easier. So, of course, I'm going to roam around the savannah for a bit, looking for an armadillo to start off this farm. So now, with all of our armadillos in their pen, it's time to finally get started building the Silverfish XP farm in a nice little time lapse, as you can see. So now that we finally have our first real XP farm working on the server, which is honestly really surprisingly good for how cheap it was to build, it's time that we can now start enchanting our gear to get ourselves a little more set up in the world so we can start with our mega building projects that we plan on taking on in the future. So we're going to sit here for a minute and maybe show this farm to some of the other people in our guild.
Bruh, there's no way.
The first potion hasn't even run out.
What potion?
The infestation potion. That's what spawns all the silverfish.
Wait, let me see it. Bruh.
And the fact that that's all that Saunders could say in this situation really made me a little proud. Sure, I was just following a tutorial, but making something that can be just this powerful while also being just this cheap honestly made me feel a bit more accomplished than maybe it should have. But that's perfectly fine, because this isn't all we're going to accomplish this episode. Because the next step of making any good XP farm is putting that XP to a good use. So we're going to head back to base and start enchanting our gears so we can get ourselves a bit better set off. As you can see with my armor, I'm not exactly in the best shape anymore. But while we re-gear for a second, I think now's a time to show you around the base a little more, as it has changed a lot. As you can see, that place with the two crystals, the redstone and the amethyst crystal, over there is Draconic's base for the time being, although he has expressed many feelings that he wants to leave the guild, which is fine by me. We have plenty of members at this time. Of course, we have on the left side of the well there, we do have Saunders' base, and on the right we have Ken TV's. This is shaping up to be a pretty good guild, with of course us getting villagers late last episode, and now setting up our own little auto farm so we can get more XP, and I of course have a spare armor set because I did a little bit too much mining. But we can make our way over to Draconic's base, where he has kindly set up a level 30 enchantment setup for us. and start trying to get decent enchantments on our armor. And now, while yes, this episode has been a little time-lapse heavy, we have now gotten a bit of enchantments on our gear, and we have been running a little dangerously low on diamonds. So, I'm going to head back down to the mines to go ahead and get more, but I am going to skip over that. Don't worry, you don't have to watch another time-lapse until later in this video. We're going to go down, we're going to restock our diamond supply with the help of Saunders. We're going to come back up, and we're going to start our next big project for this episode. Now see, what I'm brewing here is a potion of oozing. This is very useful in our situation, as we're going to need a lot of slime for a lot of projects, and thank you for Saunders once again for being the only person who can actually get slime in this server for some reason. But this time I didn't make the same mistake as I did last episode, and I actually made them the normal potions. Although I didn't know it was an on death, I thought it was on damage like infestation, so I had Saunders punch me, and when I asked him to hit me again, he kind of ruled out his sword. But it's all in good fun. So, of course, as I began to figure out that it wasn't from taking damage, it was rather from dying, a few ideas popped into my head. While I had already planned on making an actual industrial level slime farm, I wanted a bit more slime just to start off, and the fact that I only had 7 left and I had already wasted one of my potions wasn't going really well with my morals. So I wanted to go ahead and test this on a couple more things. I will soon be testing it on an iron golem, and soon actually in the silverfish farm, which works surprisingly well. So then I could figure out exactly how the mechanics work, so I could at least have an understanding of how this functions. So after a bit of trial and error, we'll come back to you with the next big step. But I think it's time for the second search. See, last episode was the search for slime. This episode might end up just well being the search for snow. Because for making most of these slime farms, you do in fact need a bunch of snow golems. Which is fine on its own if Saunders didn't throw out all the snow he got for his happy gas last episode. So, without any snow to our names, and with general pointings from Saunders of where a snowy biome could be, spoiler alert, they're a little off, it's time to kind of make our own little trek and find some snow on a mountain, in a taiga, whatever it may be, but I just need to create a lot of snow golems. And once we get enough for one golem, we should be fine to create as many as we want, which is good, because we will be creating a lot for the slime farm. But it's time to go ahead and set out to find snow. And so, after yet another time lapse, don't worry, this won't be the last, we finally get our long search snow. At a certain point, I just decided I would go in 1,000 blocks one direction, right down the diagonal, and say, if that's it, that's it. I'm not bothering myself anymore. I will find an alternative method to get snow, which I'm not exactly sure if there actually are. But luckily, within that 1,000 blocks, I was somehow able to find snow. But now, armed with the thing that we needed, it's time to go ahead, go back to our base, and start building up this slime farm for more projects that will be coming soon. And there it was, a defeat in one of its most crushing forms. Golems cannot survive in the savannah, and while I learned this the hard way during one season of the Luck SMP, I did seem to forget it once more. So, Luckily, the river biome doesn't kill them. So we have the ability to actually get this farm working, even though it can't be with our other farm.
No.
I got episode 1. Not episode 1. I have episode 3 searching for slime. Episode 4 searching for snow.
What's episode 1, 2, and 1 and 2?
Episode 1 is Jack-o'-lantern. No, episode 1 is the well. Episode 2 is Jack-o'-lantern.
Oh.
Okay. So, while having a talk with my friend Saunders about all the episodes that have come before, you should watch them, by the way, we have finally come to the conclusion that yes, the snow golems will survive in the river. So this means we can put the farm closer to our base than we would otherwise have to. This was amazing news, and while yes, I did kill this snow golem, I definitely got my money's worth by taking his snow, although I did forget to recycle the pumpkin, but that's fine, because we have a decently sized pumpkin farm. So, it is now time to go ahead and start construction, or at least start gathering the resources, to build the slime farm in the middle of the river. So, after a decent, hard day's work of gathering these resources, of course, as you can see, one of our members, Mass Chaos, was able to log on and talk to us for a little bit. We are finally gathering the last resources to for once and forever, have the materials for the slime farm, or at least I hope forever. And here is the chest in all its glory, although it's just a second of it. And so, with the materials all gathered and our site soon to be picked out, I think it's time that we finally go ahead and build this farm in a nice little time lapse. 3, 2, 1, and let's go. And so, after about 2 hours for me, we finally have the thing finished. As you can see, I've already run it a bit, and the structure I'm standing on is actually a little custom-made crafter, so I can turn all of the snowballs back into snow blocks to be implemented back into the machine directly. And while it doesn't work perfectly all of the time, it still works well enough. As you can see, I'm trying to highlight my nice little block crafter here. I really like the design of it. Of course, I made it myself, so I might be a little bit biased to it. But it does get a little clogged sometimes. As you can see, there are the slime balls. I'm not exactly sure how they got in here, but they did get in here. And it is something we're gonna have to look at in the future. But for the time being, we're done with the slime farm. And I would highly suggest you stay tuned to see what all of this slime is actually for. I know I've foreshadowed it in some past videos, but it's time to finally see those dreams realized. So, with that, this has been episode 4 of Guildcraft. If you want to stick around, please feel free to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel a ton. And if you want to join yourself, we have a Discord where you can send in your applications. But that's all. Goodbye.